Hey everyone, over the last 3 years, some of you know, and people who don't know me, I was diagnosed with a type of cancer called sarcoma, had a surgery, had a tumor removed, and about 8 months ago discovered that the cancer spread and had to make a decision for myself and my wife and my family about chemotherapy. And I've been told by a lot of people that are my friends that have followed me, wow, your results and what you've been going through is so much different than everyone I know. And I feel that it's important that I share this information because about 40% of the people we know are diagnosed with some type of cancer. And there's information that doctors don't share, and it's not because they have bad intentions. It's because they don't have knowledge. They're not trained in certain aspects of nutrition and supplementation and health and exercise. So when I made the decision to do chemo, I needed to understand what is it, because there are all different types of chemotherapy for different types of cancers. And basically, chemotherapy is a systemic drug or poison that kills cancer cells and kills healthy cells. So what happens is most people end up getting very sick, being weak, having nausea, throwing up, and a whole bunch of other diseases that come into play. And the reason for that is their counts are very low. And I've gone through this journey, and I am a little crazy about tracking what I do and having my nurses and team track it. So I'm consulting with 3 doctors. My main team is at Huntsman. So everything I've done has been approved by them. I think the first issue people have is when they go to their doctors, and I want to talk about nutritional supplementation, because my protocol that I've developed along with a few other people, doctors and researchers and people I respect, has been approved by my team through chemo and through radiation. But you don't go into your doctor and say, hey, can I use these products? Because they're gonna say no. They're gonna be worried about interactions. I knew that I had to have my regime that I've been on for 18 plus years approved, because if chemo was killing everything, I believe in the yin and yang, I needed to support my immune function, my immune system. Enough that my body is dealing with the cancer and the chemo, I had to have a highly functioning system so I could live a great life. So I went into my team of doctors, and I see maybe 2 or 3 doctors up front, but there's a team of 34 people that work on my case. And I went in there with a stack of documents, and I said to my doctors, with all the information, I would like to know, I am on these nutritional products that there are clinical studies on, and I would like to know, will this cause an interaction with the treatment you're giving me? I'm not asking them for permission. I said, I emailed you the studies, I emailed you the ingredients, I emailed you how often I'm taking it, amounts and quantities. And they came back to me and they approved it. And I've been on this regime through 10 rounds of chemo and with almost 0 side effects, because I was able to be my own patient advocate. I was able to tell the doctors my outcome and what I wanted. So when you go into a doctor and you're asking, who's not an expert in nutrition, not an expert in supplementation, they're gonna immediately say no. And that's what happens 99% of the time. And I'm telling you that with the right products, and not all products, because a lot of the products out in the market don't deliver results, but I know the products that I've taken through asking my nurse at Huntsman to plot out my blood work every week versus a normal person's. I needed to know all my levels. I have hundreds of pages of documents. And my nurse came back, who was very skeptical at first, and said, I am a believer. And I'm like, there's nothing to believe because it's science. And now she went through and looked at every week and my recovery and my ANC and absolute neutrophil counts and how quickly my body was recovering. And now my blood work is almost that of a person who hasn't had chemotherapy or radiation. So we all know someone who's suffering, and I'm more than happy to share my protocol. And the other part of it is nutrition. I'm very, very strict, my wife and I, on what I eat. And there are probably 3 things that I've been doing and instituted to help my body, because what you feed your body is going to help you fight and recover. Number one is organic green juice. Sometimes hard to find, but we've been pounding organic green juice. You know, getting 5 pounds of fresh vegetables, low glycemic, you don't want a lot of sugar in it, to help support your body going through the process of chemotherapy and or radiation. The other thing that I found very helpful that I've only instituted over the last 60 days, 90 days, and I've noticed a huge difference, is organic bone broth. Chicken or beef has really helped my body recover, and I know it because I'm tracking my levels and I'm able to see if I'm traveling, the levels are low, I'm off my diet. If I'm not traveling and I'm able to keep on my diet, the levels are really high. And this has just brought about great mental strength, great emotional strength, and also physical strength to go through the treatment so my healthy body can fight any cancer cells or any of the negative effects of the chemotherapy. And I really feel and I believe that suffering through radiation and chemotherapy is an option. There are other ways to get through it, and you need to be your own patient advocate. You can't let the doctor or team dictate the results. And until we advance in medicine to a better way through immunotherapy and other more customized drugs, then you're just going to suffer. And there's no reason for that, because you need a strong vehicle, a body, to get through it. And I'm going to do a series of these talks. I'm also going to cover what it takes emotionally and mentally and spiritually to get through cancer for you and your loved ones. And please share this video, spread this message. I don't like seeing people go through a suffering through cancer or chemotherapy when there are other options. So thanks for listening. Love you guys, and stay strong.